Hi, I'm Beth Hoskins. I'm the Business Development Manager at Ringgold, and I'm going to very quickly talk about how Ringgold organizational hierarchies can help with open access workflows. Ringgold is a small multinational company with 25 staff based in the US and UK. We also have a team of contracted researchers that work all over the world. We have researchers in over 30 countries representing over 40 languages. Ringgold has been curating organizational data for over 15 years, and we work with scholarly publishers, submission systems, funders, universities, and other companies that work in the scholarly communications space. Today I'm going to be focusing on Ringgold's Identify database. This is really Ringgold's flagship product. It is a database of over 500,000 organization records. Every organization that has ever been assigned a Ringgold ID is included in the Identify database, and this crosses all regions and all sectors. A good way to think about the scope of the Identify database is that any organization that has some kind of touch point with research or scholarly communications should be included. The Identify database is maintained by a dedicated team and in accordance with structured editorial policies. So no information gets into the database unless it is done so by Ringgold's team, and this team works using very structured editorial rules. Each organization record in the Identify database really has three main components. There is the Ringgold ID, which is the persistent identifier that is assigned to each record. We then structure metadata around each organization record and put them in their organizational hierarchies. So as you can see, there's not just a record for Ball State University, but also for the departments, and each of these departments has their own descriptive metadata assigned and is put in the hierarchy accordingly. Regardless of the type of open access model that you've adopted, knowing the relationships between the organizations that authors are affiliated with and organizations that you've done deals with or who are part of consortia that you've done deals with is really key. So as you can see here on the screen, we have some author affiliations coming from parts of UCLA and UC Davis. So the author who's coming from Cure Digestive Diseases Research Center, for example, is not obviously under UCLA. However, this is a research center that is part of UCLA. So without having hierarchies to rely on, it would be really hard to see these connections and understand the implication of a deal you're entering, and also to honor an agreement that you've already made. So zooming in specifically on the UCLA affiliations, as you can see, these are just parts of the very robust UCLA hierarchy, but having access to organizational hierarchies gives you more flexibility in doing these deals. You could have even potentially done a deal with only the School of Medicine, and you would know that all three of these author affiliations would be included. Another reality that impacts open access agreements is that there are many organizations that have multiple parents. So in this example, this is the Great Lakes Bioenergy Research Center, and this research center has a relationship to both Michigan State University and the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So if you had many authors coming from the Great Lakes Bioenergy Research Center, it would be important to consider how this would impact agreements with either university, as they could potentially take advantage of either agreement. And then as a last note, the Identify database also includes structured metadata. So using the structured metadata in combination with the organizational hierarchies can be really powerful and allow you to automate workflow rules in a way that will decrease your manual intervention with these deals and also mediate risk. So this example here is just a very small piece of Harvard University's very large hierarchy. But in this example, let's say this publisher excluded hospitals and corporate entities from the deals. They could use the Ringgold type, which is a controlled vocabulary, to exclude certain Ringgold types, and then in a more systematic setting, they could actually honor that agreement. There's much more that I could say about how Ringgold's data can help with open access workflows. I would love to answer any questions and talk more about this. So I encourage you to come to our live chat on Thursday, May 27th from 2:30 to 3 p.m. Eastern, or email me directly to discuss further. Thank you.